81 Found a Treasure, Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelful.audio. Yun Chujiu studied in foam for a moment. Seeing nothing out of the ordinary, she changed the subject. I'm going to grab some breakfast. You guys watch the courtyard. Got it, Miss Jiu. And Foam secretly breathed a sigh of relief. This girl gave him the creeps. Luckily, he'd thought up a good excuse. Yun Chujiu skipped out of the courtyard and came back with breakfast. As soon as she set it down, Little Black hopped onto the stone table. Smells amazing. I'm starving. Little Black didn't bother holding back. And Xuanhuan worked for Sha Xing anyway. They'd find out who he was sooner or later, and Xuanhuan were shocked. You can talk, Little Black puffed out his chest. Duh. I'm full of surprises, and Xuanhuan smirked. Yeah, right. You probably couldn't even take down a full-grown fire-breathing crow. Miss Jiu's just being nice taking you in. Nobody else would want you. Little Black rolled his beady eyes, but he didn't bite. Instead, he dove into his food. Yun Chujiu was surprised. Why the sudden personality change? Weird. The three of them and the bird polished off breakfast. And Foam belched, and suddenly, Little Black shot a purple fireball right at him. And Foam wasn't expecting it, but he was quick. He jumped back and dodged Little Black's attack. You jerk. How dare you insult me? I'll roast you. Little Black shrieked, firing another fireball, and Foam shouted, Purple fireball. Holy cow, Miss Jiu, you hit the jackpot. Hearing hit the jackpot, Yun Chujiu perked up. She hurried to stop Little Black. And Foam, what do you mean? Miss Jiu, most spirit beasts can't use their powers until they're at least a year old. Little Black just hatched yesterday and he's already using magic. That's crazy. And he's spitting out purple fireballs. Do you know what that means? Yun Chujiu's eyes sparkled. What's it mean? It means the fireball has the power of lightning. Animals, both monster and spirit types, are naturally scared of lightning. So in a fight, this little guy can punch way above his weight. And the stronger he gets, the bigger the advantage. Yun Chujiu was thrilled, but she played it cool. Oh, that's all. Just lightning. I can do that too. No big deal. How strange. And Foam touched his nose. Right, she was a weirdo herself. Lightning couldn't even kill her. They were a match made in heaven. Little Black flew to a branch and puffed out his chest. Ha! Now you know how awesome I am, right? Mess with me again, and I'll burn you to a crisp. And Foam opened his mouth to reply, but a cold voice came from inside the house. Knock it off. Little Black nearly fell out of the tree. Oh no, he'd made him mad. Instantly, everyone went silent. Yun Chujiu thought, damn, he's scary. How do I get to be that intimidating? I used to be awesome, calling the shots, now I'm just some idiot who has to suck up to people to get by. No way. She had to get stronger. To protect her family, and for herself, she had to find a way. Yun Chujiu glanced at the plate Elder Sun had given her. The Spirit Radiance sect. That's it. Somehow, she'd find a way in there and learn how to fight. Biming had no idea that his two-word order had inspired her. By the time he found out, Yun Chujiu would be long gone. 82 Where are the tea eggs? Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelful.audio. Just as Yun Chujiu was lost in thought, and Foam whispered, Miss Jiu, someone's here. Yun Chujiu frowned. Who could it be? And she had a dangerous person hiding in her room. She quickly peeked out the door. It was housekeeper Ji. Miss Jiu, the master wants to see you in his study, housekeeper Ji said with a respectful bow. Okay. I'll be right there. Yun Chujiu sent him away and turned to Xuanhuan. I need to go to Grandpa's study. Guard the courtyard. Don't let anyone in, and no funny business. They both nodded. Little Black chimed in telepathically, don't worry, I'll keep an eye on things. Good bird. You're getting smarter. I'll get you an extra drumstick for lunch. Yun Chujiu bounced into Yun Xiaotian's study. Grandpa, it's me. Tell me what happened yesterday. Yun Xiaotian's eyes were bloodshot, a sign he hadn't slept well. Yun Chujiu felt a twinge of guilt. Still, she figured the less her grandfather knew, the less he'd worry. Grandpa, everything I said was true. Elder Su was so scared when he met my master, he wet his pants. My master said he didn't have much time to teach me, but he gave me this token to go to the Spirit Radiance sect. She pulled out the token Elder Sun had given her and handed it to Yun Xiaotian. The Spirit Radiance sect. One of the big four. Yun Xiaotian was stunned as he took the token, his hand trembling. He examined it closely. He'd never seen anything like it, but it looked authentic. Ha ha ha. Yun Xiaotian threw his head back and roared with laughter. Yun Chujiu jumped. Was her grandfather losing it? Good. Excellent. Little Jiu. Zhangqing and Biyun would be so proud. Yun Xiaotian's joy was mixed with sadness. Grandpa, you're easy to please. I'm just getting started. The Yun family is going places. Yun Chujiu said with a grin. Good. Good. Yun Xiaotian was overcome with excitement. Yun Chujiu, still thinking about the guy in her room, quickly excused herself after a few more words. Grandpa, I should head back. I'm not in a rush to go to the Spirit Radiance sect anyway. Yun Xiaotian happily agreed to whatever Yun Chujiu wanted. She hurried back to the courtyard, where Little Black swooped down. He's awake. He's looking for you. Yun Chujiu stepped inside. And Fawn rushed up, looking anxious. Miss Jiu, you need to get in there. He's getting impatient. Yun Chujiu was not thrilled. Was Mr. Grumpy still mad? Hey, you're up. Yun Chujiu rushed into the house. Biming sat in a chair, looking sulky. Where were you? Oh, I was just in Grandpa's study, explaining yesterday's events. Yun Chujiu felt like something was off, like a husband questioning his cheating wife. Whatever. I'm hungry. Get me some food. Yun Chujiu, now a busy bee, laid out the breakfast from the food box. Here you go, dig in. Biming glanced at her, unimpressed. Where are the tea eggs? And what was that about last time? Yun Chujiu stumbled. How was she supposed to explain that? Was she going to tell the dude that it was a bastard? Oh boy, she'd really dug herself a hole this time. 83 The pretty boy turned into a fried chicken. Chapter preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing Yun Chujiu didn't answer right away, Biming's face darkened. Did you hear me? Or did you give me that tea egg with ulterior motives? Yun Chujiu, grasping for an explanation, gave a forced, dry laugh. Spit it out. What was the tea egg supposed to mean? Biming, remembering the tea eggs he'd been eating for days, felt a surge of embarrassed anger. His face was stormy. Yun Chujiu was about to burst into tears. Back then, she'd just been trying to be funny. Who knew this pretty boy would have such a good memory? Tea eggs, tea eggs. They're made from eggs. Eggs come from chickens. Wait, she had it. Yun Chujiu's face flushed. She grabbed the hem of her shirt and said shyly, Your Highness. It's kind of embarrassing to say. Biming raised an eyebrow. Out with it. Well, an egg is, like, the result of a rooster and hen's affection. So, Your Highness, you get it. Yun Chujiu lowered her head, trembling slightly. Biming froze, then his face turned beet red. He coughed awkwardly. You're too young to be learning this stuff. Get out. Yun Chujiu covered her face and bolted. She squatted outside, laughing so hard her stomach hurt. Damn, she thought, I'll do anything to survive. After breakfast, Biming summoned Yun Chujiu to clean up. Tell me everything that happened yesterday, Biming said, leaning back in his chair. Yesterday, I went to the demon beast forest with the others, and we ran into the Bai siblings. Yun Chujiu recounted the story, but she conveniently left out the part about the token. The Bai family? Drifting Cloud sect. Those losers made you look that bad. Pathetic. Biming sneered at Yun Chujiu. Hey, Your Highness, I've only been training for a few days, okay? When I can summon lightning, I'll make them pay. Yun Chujiu puffed out her chest defensively. Humph. You need to be at least spirit enhancement level 4 to summon lightning. Good luck with that. Biming's contemptuous tone was the last straw. Yun Chujiu, already on edge, instinctively used the cultivation technique from Thousand Illusions of Lightning. She raised her hand, and a bolt of lightning shot toward Biming. They were standing close together, and Biming was caught off guard. He managed to dodge most of the attack, but a stray bolt singed his hair. The smell of burnt hair filled the room. An Fong and an Yin, who heard the commotion outside, were alarmed. Your Highness, what happened? Get lost. Biming roared through gritted teeth, and Fong and an Yin exchanged worried glances, but didn't dare enter. You little brat. Nice. Very nice. You used my own cultivation technique against me. You are really something. Biming pulled a mirror from his storage ring and saw his reflection. He was about to lose it. Yun Chujiu stared at the pretty boy, now looking like a ruffled chicken. She struggled to contain her laughter. Inside, she was rolling on the floor, picturing an Fong and an Yin seeing the pretty boy's pathetic state, but her focus was now shifting to Biming's storage ring. Wow, she thought. That's the real deal. Could it be a legendary storage ring? Amazing. Storage pouches are rare enough. I didn't expect the pretty boy to have one of these. Wait a minute. When I stripped him last time, I didn't see a ring. What's the deal with that? 84 Chapter 84 Storage Ring, Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yun Chujiu's eyes zeroed in on the storage ring on Biming's finger. He's gotta have some cool stuff in there, she thought to herself. That kept man is loaded, man, if I had a storage ring, or even just a storage bag, she'd heard they kept things fresh, way better than a fridge, imagine, fresh fruit and snacks anytime I want, Biming was even more irritated when Yun Chujiu didn't react after causing trouble. Hey! Are you deaf? Oh. Dude, didn't you say only Spirit Enhancement Realm Level 4 could use their spiritual power? I was just messing around, and bam, lightning bolt. You're the expert, what's going on with me? Yun Chujiu asked, buttering him up while subtly changing the subject. Biming frowned. She's only at level 1. How did she do that, And, why can't those old geezers tell I have spiritual power? What gives? Yun Chujiu added, seeing his attention was diverted. It hit Biming then, he'd been biased. If he hadn't known she could absorb lightning, he wouldn't have sensed her power at all. What is with all the weird stuff that happens to her? Hello. Birth to Prince Charming? Yun Chujiu asked tentatively, seeing his silence. Biming smelled the burnt scent of his hair and raised an eyebrow. Okay, your situation is unusual. I'm afraid. Afraid of what? Yun Chujiu's heart skipped a beat. I'm afraid you're in danger. You need to keep me updated on everything. Otherwise, I can't help you. Got it. Yun Chujiu nodded immediately. Yes. Sir, yes sir. I'll do whatever you say. Does that mean I don't have long to live? Wah. I'm only 14. I haven't even lived yet. I don't want to die. Yun Chujiu wailed, tears streaming down her face. She looked utterly pathetic. Biming had only meant to scare her, but seeing her cry tugged at something inside him. What are you crying for? He snapped, feeling helpless. You've got me, don't you? You're not going to die on my watch. Oh, you're the best. I could just kiss you. Yun Chujiu threw her arms around his waist, sobbing into his robes. Biming stiffened immediately, saying awkwardly, okay, stop crying. You're not gonna die. Tough cookies like you live forever, easy for you to say, Yun Chujiu thought, gritting her teeth. You're the one who's a tough cookie. She discreetly wiped her tears and snot all over his spotless white clothes, then, she rubbed her eyes and said in a small voice, I'm putting my life in your hands. How am I even supposed to practice now? Just like before. Biming stared at the suspicious stains on his clothes, feeling distinctly uncomfortable. Draw my bath. I need to soak. Yun Chujiu knew when to back off. Sure thing. I'll get the water going right now. You'll be squeaky clean in no time. Before he could say another word, she bolted out of the room. 85 Chapter 85, I was just drawing for fun, Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Miss Jiu, what just happened? And Feng asked in a low voice as soon as Yun Chujiu emerged. Nothing. His Majesty wants to take a bath. I'm getting someone to fetch the water. You guys stay hidden. Yun Chujiu bustled about, arranging for some burly women to carry buckets of hot water to the courtyard entrance. And Feng. And help me with these buckets. Yun Chujiu waited until the servants were gone before calling them over, and Feng glanced at An. They carried the buckets to the doorway but didn't go inside. You can handle the rest, Miss Jiu. How cold-blooded. These things are heavy. Yun Chujiu grumbled, lugging a bucket into the house. Totally useless. Biming waved his hand, and the remaining buckets floated inside by themselves. Yun Chujiu's eyes lit up. Idol. You're incredible. Seriously, I'm so impressed. Biming didn't say anything, but he was clearly pleased and decided to forgive her for burning his hair, for now. I'm taking a bath. You can leave, Biming said, waving her away like a fly. Yun Chujiu slipped out, rolling her eyes. Humph. You think I care? I've seen you naked before. Taking off your clothes isn't a big deal. Yun Chujiu remembered the scene, and her face flushed slightly. She crouched under the window, doodling on the ground with a twig. Hey, what are you drawing? Xuanhuan flew to her shoulder, curious. Yun Chujiu guiltily scratched at the ground. Nothing, just messing around. Huh. Looks like a person. Xuanhuan's beady eyes gleamed with gossip, and Feng and An were too embarrassed to come closer, but they figured she was sketching their revered one. She was totally crushing on him. And she was. Yun Chujiu was indeed drawing Biming, without clothes. An hour later, Biming's voice called from inside, Hey, I'm done bathing. Yun Chujiu thought, what a diva. He took forever, Silently cursing, she entered the room and stopped dead, too hot, how could anyone look that good? Biming had realized only the roots of his hair were undamaged, so he'd cut off the rest. The messy, short hair made him look even more rebellious and attractive. He was a little flustered by her staring, but secretly pleased. He cleared his throat. Don't even think about it. Wipe your drool. Yun Chujiu automatically wiped her mouth, then realized she'd been tricked, but she was shameless. She shrugged. I'm not drooling, I'm appreciating. Everyone loves a good-looking person. Biming, in a good mood, let it slide. I have things to do. Practice your cultivation. I'll be checking on you in a few days. If you slack off. Yun Chujiu couldn't wait for him to leave. Go do your thing. I'll work hard and reach the second level ASAP. I won't let you down. Good. Biming nodded, satisfied. Oh, one thing, why do you always kick down my door when you come? Not that I care about the door, I'm just worried about your foot. Yun Chujiu blinked, pretending to be confused. 86 Chapter 86, Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Suit yourself, Biming said, walking out. Yun Chujiu glared after him, fuming. Yeah, you suit yourself. Now she had to find housekeeper Ji and men. An Feng and an En were stunned by Biming's new haircut. Did His Excellency get a trim while sleeping in Miss Zhou's room? What the heck happened? An En kept his thoughts to himself, but An Feng felt like ants were crawling all over him. He couldn't help but ask, Your Excellency, your hair. Biming shot him a cold look. Cool, right? Got a problem with it? An Feng quickly backed off, scurrying back toward the Yun residence. He hid himself well. The little nine was already sharp, but now with little Blackie around, it was even harder to stay hidden. He'd have to stay even further away from the courtyard. Meanwhile, Yun Chujiu was hopping mad, cursing Biming. Damn pretty boy. Just walks out and leaves me with all the mess. Little Blackie. Burn all those stray hairs on the ground. Yun Chujiu pointed an accusing finger at the chopped-off hair. Little black bird, why is Sha Xing's hair burned? Who did it? Little black bird was outraged. Someone dared to touch the hair on his head. They had a death wish. Yun Chujiu puffed out her chest. Of course, I did. I'm your master. And I'm warning you, from now on, you call me master. Call me Little Blackie again, and I'll roast you. Little black bird sized Yun Chujiu up, then flapped his wings and chuckled. Oh, come on. Little Blackie, you crack me up. You going to roast me? Good luck with that. Besides, I love getting struck by lightning. It's like a super vitamin shot for me. Yun Chujiu remembered that this little weirdo was just like her. Not only was he unafraid of lightning, but he actually enjoyed it. Yun Chujiu rolled her eyes. Fine, have it your way. But no lunch for you. Little black bird's eyes swiveled. He immediately became sickeningly sweet. Dearest master, I was just kidding. In little black bird's heart, you're the most beautiful, the most radiant, and the most powerful master ever. Yun Chujiu pursed her lips, unimpressed. Little black bird continued, Dearest master, I will now take care of the mess left by that pretty boy. That girly man, bathing and changing in broad daylight, how disgusting. Yun Chujiu's eyes lit up. Yes, 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 hearing someone, no, hearing a bird, rip into the pretty boy was so satisfying. She gave little black bird an encouraging look. Little black bird got the hint. He craned his neck and started to rant, look at that pretty boy's arrogant face, practically begging to be punched. Master, it's not too late for us to get revenge. When the time comes, you can zap him with lightning, and I'll roast him with fireballs, making that pretty boy kneel at our feet and cry, regretting everything he's ever done. That's it. You're a natural. You're getting extra food at lunch. Yun Chujiu listened to little black bird's furious tirade, feeling incredibly pleased, a smile blooming on her face. Master, you're the best. You're the best master in the whole wide world. I love you. Little black bird didn't care about bird dignity when food was on the line. Just as little black bird was about to burn the pretty boy's stray hairs, Yun Chujiu got an idea. She picked up a strand, wrapped it in the handkerchief that Biming had carelessly tossed aside, and stashed it away. Master, what do you want with the pretty boy's hair? I'm keeping it for later. Maybe someday I'll learn some curse spells or something. Then I'll curse the pretty boy to death. Little black bird couldn't help but shiver. This little nine is seriously ruthless. I definitely can't cross her. Yun Chujiu spent a long time cleaning up the house. Finally, she released Chunyu's pressure points. The young maid was easy to fool. Yun Chujiu managed to placate her with a few half-truths, but the door was still gone. How was she going to explain this to her grandfather? After lunch, Yun Chujiu steeled herself and went to find Yun Xiaotian. Grandfather, My master was here just now. He took a couple of things from the house. Don't you feel bad about that? You brat. He could take 10 or 100 things, and I wouldn't care. By the way, what did your master take? Well, it's nothing much. He just took 2 doors. Yun Chujiu.And. 87 Chapter 87 The World's Oddities, Long Grass in the Dantian, Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yun Chujiu left Yun Xiaotian's place, grabbing lunch on the way. She even made sure to order a roast chicken, specifically for the little black bird. After lunch, Yun Chujiu sat on her bed, crossing her legs. She suddenly remembered the odd sensation in her core and decided to check it out. If anyone could have seen inside Yun Chujiu's core, their jaws would have dropped. It was filled with tiny, crackling purple lightning bolts. Wait, what was that green sprout in the middle of all that purple? The sprout seemed to sense her presence and even wobbled proudly. Yun Chujiu was beyond annoyed. What the heck was this thing? Was grass growing in her core? Just as she tried to get a closer look, a wave of dizziness washed over her, and she had to pull back her awareness. Looking miserable, Yun Chujiu called the little black bird into the room. Little black, I'm pretty sure I'm a goner. You're going to be free. That the little black bird's eyes lit up. Really? That Yun Chujiu grabbed its little wing. Seriously? You heartless little thing, you can't wait for me to kick the bucket, can you? Master, sweet master, you've got it all wrong. I'm just surprised. What's wrong? The little black bird quickly switched to a worried tone. There's a weed growing in my core. Yun Chujiu released the bird, looking defeated. Ha ha ha. A weed growing in your core? You're kidding, right? The little black bird started rolling around on the floor, laughing. Yun Chujiu was furious. Great, the bird was rolling around like a puppy. Was it trying to push her over the edge? Get out. Yun Chujiu kicked the bird away. Wawawawawawa. The little black bird flew onto a tree branch, squawking in outrage. Both this girl and that pretty boy were rotten to the core. It was too much. Yun Chujiu sat on the bed, deflated. The more she thought about it, the more scared she got. What was she going to do? If the weed kept growing, would she turn into some kind of bug food? Yun Chujiu was all about self-preservation. She didn't put too much stock in Biming's words, but this weed in her core couldn't be good. She suddenly remembered something her adoptive mother had once told her. When she was a baby, the first thing she grabbed was a seed. Crap. Could it be that seed? With that thought, Yun Chujiu shot out of bed and ran toward Yun Xiaotian's study. She paused at the door, thought up an excuse, and walked in. Little Jiu. Didn't you say you wanted to train? Why are you back so soon? Yun Xiaotian asked, puzzled. Grandpa, I had a dream during my nap. I dreamed that a weed was growing in my core. Isn't that weird? Ha. Sweetheart, dreams are always weird and bizarre. Nothing strange about that. Did you come all the way here just to tell me about a dream? Yun Xiaotian patted Yun Chujiu's head, thinking how innocent she was. Yeah. Grandpa, Mom told me that when I was a baby, I grabbed a seed. What kind of seed was it? Yun Xiaotian paused, thinking. Your mother prepared the things you grabbed. I think it was a shiny black seed. I'd never seen one like it before. Oh, right, you wouldn't let go of the seed after that. Your mother was worried you'd swallow it, so she wanted to put it away, but she couldn't find it. But everyone was watching you closely at the time. They knew you didn't swallow the seed, so they didn't worry too much about it. It was just a seed. No big deal if it went missing. Yun Chujiu wanted to cry. Grandpa, I didn't swallow the seed. It's growing in my core. Maybe I should have swallowed it. 88 Chapter 88, They Must Still Be Alive, Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiaojiu, what's wrong? You look upset, Yun Xiaotian said, his worry plain. "Grandpa, it's nothing, just missing Mom a bit." "By the way, Grandpa, how come Mom never talked about your side of the family?" Yun Chujiu asked, all wide-eyed innocence. Yun Xiaotian frowned and sighed. "You're old enough to know some things, I guess. Your father found your mother on one of his training trips. She was badly hurt and had lost her memory. They fell for each other, and I thought, what the heck, let's get them married. So, Mom never got her memory back." Yun Chujiu raised an eyebrow. Her mom's backstory was more complicated than she thought. "Nope. But I always figured she came from a pretty important family. Too bad we're too weak to figure out who they are." "Grandpa, what happened to Mom and Dad?" Yun Chujiu asked. She'd been a little kid when Yun Zhongqing and Lin Biyun disappeared. Her memories were hazy. "They went back to the place where they met, hoping to find clues about your mother's family. Then, poof, no word. I took a search party out there, but we found squat. Later on, I found your father's jade pendant, he never took it off, in a shop. Tracked down the seller. He said it was covered in dried blood. There were also bits of torn, bloody cloth snagged on some branches nearby. I held out hope for a while, kept sending people to look, but nothing. So, yeah. I had to face the fact that they were gone," Yun Xiaotian said, choking up. "Grandpa, you know what they say, gotta see the body. Mom and Dad are still out there. When I'm strong enough, I'll bring them back. And then you can give them a piece of your mind." Yun Chujiu said, puffing out her cheeks. Yun Xiaotian smiled, his sadness fading a bit. "I've made my peace with it. As long as you're okay, and the Yun family is doing all right, that's all that matters. Don't worry, Grandpa. I'm gonna train my butt off and bring the Yun family back to glory." Yun Chujiu said, pumping her fist, eyes blazing. Yun Xiaotian beamed. They chatted for a while longer before Yun Chujiu skipped off. The moment she left the courtyard, Yun Chujiu's shoulders slumped. ****. Revitalize the Yun family? More like become grass food. She was super stressed. Barely touched her dinner and stayed up all night. How was she supposed to get rid of that stupid weed? Knives? Nope. Couldn't even get a knife into her Dantian fire. Please. This weed had laughed at lightning. Fire was nothing, freezing. She'd be an ice sculpture before it even noticed. Poison. She'd kick the bucket first. Early the next morning, Yun Chujiu got up and just sat in a chair, staring into space. Chun-Yu came back with breakfast. The smell made Yun Chujiu's stomach rumble. Damn it, she thought, I'll just take it one day at a time. I can beat a freakin' weed. First, I eat. Miss. Are you okay? You're pale as a ghost. Chun-Yu gasped. 89 Chapter 89 was just a drop in the bucket. Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yun Chujiu perked up and dashed to the mirror. Seriously, Chun-Yu? I still look like I've been rolling in coal. Yun Chujiu's hopes crashed when she saw her reflection. Miss, look closer. She's really a shade lighter. You were dark to begin with, now she is just a shade of gray. Chun-Yu said, trying to reassure her. Yun Chujiu, dark and tanned. Now, a shade of gray. Chun-Yu, you'd never make friends talking like that. Yun Chujiu examined her reflection closely. Well, she had to admit, she was a little lighter. Yun Chujiu rolled her eyes. It wasn't random. Could the seed sprouting be the reason? Was that why she was lightening up? Then, was the seed also why she couldn't cultivate before? Damn. That had to be it. That damn seed had been hogging all the good stuff. That's why she was so dark and scrawny. But why did it suddenly sprout? Was this change good or bad? So many questions. This was seriously confusing. While Yun Chujiu was deep in thought, the little black bird landed on her shoulder. Master, you smell amazing. Smell amazing? Nonsense. I'm not wearing any perfume. Chunyu, do you smell anything? Chunyu sniffed the air. Miss, just the acacia blossoms. Nothing else. The little black bird started to panic. No, really, master. There's this, well, it just makes me feel really good. Yun Chujiu pursed her lips. She didn't take the little black bird seriously. Little Blackie was just trying to butter her up. After breakfast, Yun Chujiu sat in the courtyard, lost in thought. She still didn't know what to do about the little sprout in her Dantian. Maybe she could find a way to get into the spirit flower sect. Elder Sun had mentioned they held tests to recruit laborers. Seemed she'd have to work hard at cultivation. As luck would have it, a heavy thunderstorm rolled in that night, complete with lightning and thunder. Yun Chujiu, being who she was, grabbed 2 copper wash basins and spent the night drawing lightning into the courtyard. Little Blackie joined in, perched on one of the basins, eagerly waiting for a jolt. Chunyu was a nervous wreck. Oh, God, it was bad enough her mistress was off her rocker, but why did the bird have to be a weirdo, too? Yun Chujiu and Little Blackie spent the night absorbing all the lightning they could handle. They were both thrilled. Master, I need to digest all this lightning. I'll be sleeping for a while, so you need to protect me. Little Blackie said, trying to get on her good side after the feast. Yun Chujiu nodded. I need to refine the lightning too. Yun Chujiu told Yun Xiaotian her plans and spent the next few days holed up in her courtyard, cultivating. She was going all out this time, determined to get rid of the sprout in her Dantian. She was completely focused. Yun Xiaotian was happy to see Yun Chujiu working so hard. He made sure the kitchen sent over food on time and had Chunyu stay with Yun Chujiu in case anything happened. Meanwhile, across town at the Bai family residence, Bai Moru was pleading with Bai Peng. Grandfather, I can't just let this go. If it wasn't for that witch Yun Chujiu, Elder Su wouldn't have taken his anger out on me and my brother. He wouldn't have kicked me, and now we can't even go to the Drifting Cloud sect. Grandfather, you love me the most. You have to help me kill that witch Yun Chujiu. Bai Moyu frowned. Moru, Yun Chujiu's master is an elder in the Spirit Flower sect, a pretty well-known one. If we anger him, our Bai family will be ruined. I don't care. Grandfather, you're the best. You must have a way, right? Bai Moru clung to Bai Peng's arm, begging. Bai Peng smiled mysteriously. Before today, I wouldn't have. The Spirit Flower sect is too big for us to touch. But this morning, I received a letter that says otherwise. Not only will you have the chance to take care of Yun Chujiu yourself, you'll also be able to shine and impress everyone. 90 Chapter 90, A Mysterious Letter, Chapter Preview. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Bai Moru's eyes widened. Grandpa, who sent you this letter? Bai Moyu looked at Bai Peng hopefully. He was itching to kill Yun Chujiu. Only his fear of Elder Sun had kept him from doing it already. To him, Yun Chujiu was nothing but a powerless nobody, like swatting a fly. Years ago, I saved a guy in the Demon Beast Forest. It's a funny story, actually. I saw a badly wounded golden-spotted red flame tiger and, greedy as I was, I took a chance and killed it. Then I found a man lying nearby. I debated whether to finish him off and take whatever valuables he had, but he woke up, so I pretended to be his savior. He recovered at our house and, when he left, he gave me a scabbard, promising to repay me someday. Nothing came of it for years. Then, just yesterday, I got a letter. Turns out, that man is now an elder in the Linghua sect. Ha ha ha. Talk about luck. Bai Moru squealed. Grandpa. That's amazing. Can he help us get rid of Yun Chujiu? Hold your horses. He's got a stubborn streak and a short fuse. That's probably why he thought of me as his savior in the first place. I'll write him a letter, and the two of you can take the scabbard and the letter to the Linghua sect. Bai Peng's eyes gleamed. Bai Moru looked confused. Why are we going to the Linghua sect, Grandpa? Bai Moyu seemed to catch on. Grandpa, are you thinking of getting us into the Linghua sect to train? Bai Peng nodded. Exactly. You'll go see him first, get his backing for the entrance exam. With your skills, getting in as servants should be a piece of cake. Once you're in, with his connections, moving up to the outer sect will be a breeze. And who knows, with the right opportunity, you might even make it to the inner sect. Bai Moru frowned. But Grandpa, isn't Yun Chujiu's master and elder? Doesn't that make her an inner sect disciple? If we get into the Linghua sect, instead of killing her, she's more likely to kill us. Mo, don't forget, we'll have a powerful friend inside the Linghua sect. If Yun Chujiu so much as touches us, she'll be in deep trouble. Bai Moyu was clearly sharper than Bai Moru. Bai Peng nodded approvingly. Exactly. Since he thinks I saved his life, he'll definitely look out for you. But he's a no-nonsense type. Don't try to flatter him. And Mo, listen to your brother. Bai Moru nodded, ecstatic. The Linghua sect. Su Yenran thought she was so hot stuff after joining the Drifting Clouds sect. Well, this was even better. And if she could snag a senior brother from a good family, that would be perfect. By the way, Grandpa, who exactly is this person? Bai Moyu was buzzing with excitement. He'd thought he was stuck in Yi City for good, but now things were looking up. He's Elder Xiao Pancher of West Peak in the Linghua sect. After you get in, don't rush to kill Yun Chujiu. First, get your bearings, then take your time. Got it? Play the long game. Yun Chujiu is just a bump in the road. Once you're strong enough, you can deal with her whenever you want. Bai Moyu and Bai Moru nodded, completely thrilled. They felt like they were dreaming. Go get ready. We leave in 3 days. Bai Peng was also pumped. Once Mou and Mo got into the Spirit Flower sect, it was only a matter of time before the Bai family rose to power.